There is a growing sense of tension and opportunity surrounding Rangers at this stage of the season, and supporters are beginning to realize that the coming weeks could define not only the outcome of the campaign, but the financial and sporting direction of the club for years to come. What makes the situation even more fascinating is that some of the most important developments affecting Rangers have not even taken place in Scotland, but hundreds of miles away, where unexpected results have started to reshape the European qualification picture in a way that very few people predicted earlier in the season. For a long time, it looked as though Rangers would once again be forced to navigate the difficult and often unpredictable Champions League qualifying rounds if they were to win the league. That path is never easy, and supporters know all too well how fine the margins can be over two legs in European qualifiers. However, football often produces strange twists, and now a scenario has emerged where Rangers could potentially move directly into the Champions League phase without having to play a single qualifying match. The key to this situation lies in the European coefficient rankings and the performance of clubs in other leagues, particularly in Greece, where the title race has taken a dramatic turn at exactly the right moment from a Rangers perspective. Earlier in the season, it seemed like events in Greece were working against Rangers. A strong European run from one of the Greek sides allowed them to move ahead in the coefficient rankings, which at the time looked like bad news for the Scottish side. That shift meant that if certain qualification scenarios played out, Rangers might miss out on automatic progression. But football seasons are long, and momentum can change very quickly. Recent results in the Greek league have completely reopened the situation, and now the possibility of automatic Champions League football is very real again, provided Rangers can take care of their own business domestically. The financial impact of reaching the Champions League phase automatically cannot be overstated. We are talking about tens of millions in revenue, money that could be reinvested into the squad, the training facilities, and the long-term stability of the club. It would also make Rangers a more attractive destination for players in the transfer market, as footballers always want to compete at the highest possible level. So when supporters look at the league table now, they are not just looking at a title race. They are looking at a potential turning point in the club's modern history. At the same time, the title race in Scotland is becoming increasingly intense, with very little separating the top teams. Every match now feels enormous, and there is a sense that one slip could change everything. Rangers know that they cannot rely on events elsewhere unless they first put themselves in the position domestically. Winning matches, handling pressure, and maintaining consistency will be absolutely crucial in the final stretch of the season. The players are fully aware of what is at stake, and you can see in recent performances that the urgency and focus levels have increased significantly. While all of this is happening on the pitch, there are also important discussions taking place behind the scenes regarding the squad and potential transfers. One of the most talked about situations at the moment involves a young striker whose future has suddenly become a topic of serious debate. His first season has not been perfect, but there have been enough moments of quality to suggest that he could develop into a very important player. Young forwards often need time to adapt, especially in a physically demanding league, and Rangers have seen many players improve dramatically after their first full season in Scottish football. Interest from clubs in other European leagues has started to appear, and that always creates a complicated situation for a club like Rangers. On one hand, selling a player for a significant profit can be good business and allows the club to reinvest in multiple areas of the squad. On the other hand, letting a talented young player leave too early can sometimes lead to regret if that player goes on to reach a very high level elsewhere. These are the kinds of decisions that can define a sporting project, and the Rangers board will need to carefully evaluate what is best for the club in both the short term and the long term. The player himself is still focused on improving, working hard in training, and trying to become more consistent in matches. That is usually the biggest challenge for young attackers, not producing one good performance, but producing good performances regularly. If he can add consistency to his game, improve his movement, and become more clinical in front of goal, then his value and importance to the team will naturally increase. Rangers supporters have already seen flashes of what he can do in big matches, and those moments are often what build a player's reputation and confidence. As the season moves toward its decisive phase, Rangers find themselves in a situation full of pressure, but also full of opportunity. There is a league title to fight for, a potential Champions League place that could change the club financially, and important squad decisions that will shape the future. Everything feels connected at the moment, and that is why every match, every goal, and every point now carries enormous weight. The coming weeks will test the squad mentally as much as physically, and how they handle that pressure could ultimately decide whether this season is remembered as a good one or a historic one. As the spotlight intensifies on the pitch, there is also a growing sense that what happens in the transfer market this summer could be just as decisive for Rangers as the outcome of the title race itself. The situation surrounding the young striker continues to evolve, and what once looked like a long-term development project is now attracting serious attention from clubs across Europe. That kind of interest does not appear by accident, and it reflects the belief that his potential could soon translate into consistent high-level performances. His numbers this season might not immediately stand out when compared to more established forwards, but statistics rarely tell the full story, especially for a player still adapting to a new environment. There have been matches where his influence has gone beyond goals and assists, where his movement has created space for teammates, where his physical presence has unsettled defenders, and where his composure in key moments has hinted at a much higher ceiling. Those are the details that clubs pay attention to when assessing whether a player is ready to take the next step. From Rangers' perspective, the timing of this interest creates both an opportunity and a challenge. Financially, the club is in a position where a significant offer could provide flexibility and allow for reinvestment across multiple positions. Strategically, however, there is a strong argument for patience. Players with his profile, young, physically capable, and already showing flashes in high-pressure fixtures, are not easy to replace. Letting him go too early could mean losing out on the peak years of his development, years in which he could become a central figure in the team. There is also the question of how the player himself views the situation. For many young footballers, the chance to move to a different league can be tempting, especially if it comes with the promise of regular European football. At the same time, staying at Rangers offers a different kind of opportunity, the chance to become a key player at a club with massive expectations, to compete for titles, and to build a strong connection with the supporters. These are factors that often play a significant role in a player's decision-making process, even if they are not always visible from the outside. Meanwhile, developments on the training ground have provided a boost at a crucial moment in the season. The return of an important attacking option has added fresh energy to the squad, and there is a growing expectation that his presence could bring a new dynamic to the forward line. His style of play offers something slightly different, more directness, more unpredictability, and the ability to stretch defenses in ways that can create openings for others. At this stage of the campaign, having that variety in attack can make a significant difference, particularly in tight matches where a single moment of quality can decide the outcome. The manager now faces some important decisions regarding team selection and tactical approach. Balancing the need for consistency with the desire to introduce fresh elements into the lineup is never easy, especially when every match carries such high stakes. There is also the challenge of managing player fitness, keeping the squad sharp without overloading key individuals. These are the details that often go unnoticed but can have a major impact on performance levels during the final stretch of the season. Supporters are beginning to sense that something significant could be building. There is a mixture of excitement and nervous anticipation, the kind that only appears when a season reaches its most critical phase. Every result elsewhere is followed closely, every development analyzed, and every rumor discussed. That connection between the team and the supporters can be a powerful force, especially at home, where the atmosphere can lift the players and push them to find that extra level when it is needed most. At the same time, the reality of the situation remains clear. For all the external factors that could work in Rangers' favor, nothing will matter if they do not deliver on the pitch. The opportunity is there, but it still needs to be taken. That requires focus, discipline, and the ability to handle pressure in the biggest moments. It also requires leaders within the squad to step forward, to set the standard, and to ensure that the team does not lose sight of what is at stake. As things stand, Rangers are positioned right in the middle of a scenario filled with possibilities. The title race remains open, the European picture continues to shift, and key decisions regarding the squad are approaching. It is a period where everything feels connected, where success in one area can influence another, and where a strong finish to the season could set the foundation for something even bigger moving forward. The sense of anticipation continues to grow with each passing match, and there is a feeling that the story of this season is still far from being fully written. What makes this period even more intriguing is how quickly momentum can swing in football, especially when multiple competitions and league races are happening at the same time. A few weeks ago, the conversation around Rangers felt very different, with questions about consistency, squad depth, and whether the team could handle the pressure of a tight title race. Now, the narrative has started to shift again, and there is a growing belief that if Rangers can put together a strong run in the final stretch, the entire season could be remembered in a completely different light. One of the biggest factors in title races is not always the spectacular victories, but the difficult wins, the matches where the team does not play perfectly but still finds a way to take all 3 points. Those are the results that build champions over the course of a long season. Rangers are entering a stage where performance levels will fluctuate due to fatigue and pressure, so the ability to grind out results could become more important than playing beautiful football every week. Experienced players in the squad understand this, and their role in the dressing room becomes increasingly important as the tension rises. Another key element is squad rotation and managing energy levels. The schedule at this point of the season can be demanding, and small injuries or fatigue can quickly become major problems if not handled properly. This is where the depth of the squad will be tested. Players who may not have been regular starters earlier in the season could now find themselves playing crucial minutes in important matches. Their ability to step in and perform at a high level could make a huge difference in the final standings. There is also a psychological aspect to this stage of the season that cannot be ignored. When players know that every match could influence not only the league title, but also qualification for the biggest competition in European football, the pressure naturally increases. Some players thrive under that pressure, while others can struggle. The teams that usually succeed in these situations are the ones that remain calm, focused, and disciplined, treating each match as another step rather than thinking too far ahead. The supporters will also play a massive role in what happens next. The atmosphere in big matches, especially at home, can push the team forward during difficult moments. Footballers often talk about how energy from the stands can change the momentum of a match, particularly when the game is tight and confidence needs a boost. If Rangers can turn their home matches into high-energy environments and maintain composure away from home, they will give themselves a strong chance of staying in the title race until the very end. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to get all the exclusive news about Rangers FC. Don't overlook any details about your beloved team. It's crucial for Rangers FC fans. The mood around Texas Rangers has taken a sharp and uneasy turn as whispers swirl through the clubhouse corridors and beyond. What should have been just another chapter in a long season has instead become something far more troubling, with Youssef CHERMITI at the very center of a storm that few saw coming. Youssef CHERMITI's arrival, marked by a visible bruise across his face, has sparked a wave of speculation that refuses to quieten. Sources close to the situation suggest the incident behind the injury is anything but straightforward. While official voices remain tight-lipped, the silence itself has only deepened the intrigue, leaving fans and pundits alike to read between the lines. Inside the camp, tensions are believed to be running high. There is talk, quiet but persistent, of a confrontation that may have crossed a line, with one insider going so far as to describe the situation as cowardly. It is a strong word, one not thrown about lightly in a professional dressing room, and its use hints at fractures that could be widening beneath the surface. Youssef CHERMITI, never one to shy away from speaking his mind, is said to have reacted with fury. Those who witnessed his demeanor describe a player visibly shaken but equally defiant, unwilling to let the matter be brushed aside. His outburst, while not officially acknowledged, has only fueled the growing belief that this is more than a simple on-field knock. For the Rangers, the timing could scarcely be worse. A side striving for cohesion now finds itself under the glare of internal unrest, with questions mounting over leadership and accountability. Whether this episode proves to be a fleeting controversy or the spark of a deeper crisis remains to be seen. What is certain, however, is that the story is far from finished. In the shadows of the dugout and behind closed doors, something has shifted, and until the truth emerges, the rumors will only grow louder. Greetings, fans. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, as it's greatly appreciated by Rangers FC. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments section below. Until the next video, stay tuned.